Folks, we're back for Isaac's Cup Day tips on video. Obviously, throughout the year, we've been doing our tips via photograph on my channels, but I thought we'd get out the old camera and we just talk about what's going to be a sensational day of racing. Now, obviously, there is a bit of bad weather scheduled and with thunderstorms, etc. So hopefully the thunderstorms lay off until the night. So we can get the Cup as scheduled. It is currently scheduled as a soft 7. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes into a heavy 8 with all the rain that is scheduled to hit Melbourne in the next day or so. Race 1 is the Group 3 Darley Maribyrnong Plate. It's a 1,000 metre at headquarters at Flemington, the home of racing. Number 1, Zolfica, drawn barrier 3. It's the favourite at $3.30. It won on this track at the start of October, so it's looking for back-to-back wins. A nice chance in this one, and I also like the looks of number 9, Awestruck. It's drawn barrier 4, Mark Zara on board, the Maltese Falcon, $7.50 is the odds on Awestruck. It can run on heavy and soft ground, so it doesn't mind the wet. It's had a couple jump outs, and it went really well in my eyes. It could win on debut, and what a story it would be for Awestruck to win the Maribyrnong Plate to start his career. Race 2, the Macca's Run, 2,800 metres. Number 4, Herman Hesse, drawn barrier 6, Jason Collette on board. Currently at $10, so good value there. With Collette on board up in Sydney, it's had 2 races with Collette at the 2,400 metres, and this horse has picked up some great form, first and second on those meetings there. So Herman Hesse for me in the Macca's Run. Race 4 is the Tab Trophy, 1,800 metre. Zoe's Promise looks good. Alana Kelly on board, currently at $7.50. Last 2 runs, Alana Kelly's been on board, and they've both been at the 1,600 metres, and they've both been wins. So one was on a soft 7, one was on a heavy 8. I don't think the conditions phase this horse. I think she's a wonderful horse, and I think she can win the Tab Trophy. Number 12, Contrary, well, also a chance, $2.15 the favourite. It has had a bit of great form in the last couple meetings. Recently coming into this one with a win at Caulfield the other week. I liked Quantary's run in that race, but I'm just feeling a bit more confident with Zoe's Promise in this one. Race 5 is the Schwepper Essence Plate, 1,000 metre, number 11, Field of Flutes. John Allen on board, $9.50 the odds. Last start at the Valley, got caught by Fishin, and it's run before that, I should say. It won by 4.5 lengths. It absolutely smashed them. So I really like the looks of Field of Flutes. I've been following this horse the last few races it's had, and I think it's a chance in the Schwepper Essence Plate. Now we head into race 7, the Melbourne Cup, the race that stops the nation. 3,200 metre. How time flies, because it only feels like yesterday where we saw Very Elegant, the darling of the turf, have that sensational win in the 2021 Melbourne Cup. And now it's time for 2022, a new piece of history. Number 3, if it's a heavy 8, I really like the looks of number 3, Knight's Order, Tim Clark on board, drawn barrier 24, currently $16, won the Chelmsford Stakes strongly, won the Sydney Cup. It's a leading horse. It goes well in the wet on that heavy track or so, pretty much led all the way in the Sydney Cup and was too strong for the rest of the field. So in the Sydney Cup, it drew the inside barrier with number 1, and now in the Melbourne Cup, it's drawn the widest with number 24. So I think Knight's Order just needs to jump well and just calmly make his way across to the lead and go from there. Now, if he wants the barrier as a guide, I think that jump is clear, but he's got a lot of time. Now, last year he did run in the Melbourne Cup and he struggled a bit, but I do think this horse has improved throughout this year. So let's see how Knight's Order go. So, there's a few back runners in this race who could catch him. It's just about if this horse is strong enough for Melbourne Cup Day. Number 4, Montefilia, another horse who runs well in the wet, another Sydney-based horse. Jason Collette on board, currently at $11, flashed home late in the Caulfield Cup, out wide. It can run well in the wet, and it's used to the jockey on board. That run in the Caulfield Cup, just to see Montefilia finally getting out, and at the 200-metre mark, still going, flashing home down that, wide side of the track. And the horse that it ran alongside with was Vow and Declare, which leads me into my next, I would say, spotlight for me. And it holds a place in my heart, because seeing this horse win the 2019 Melbourne Cup, and just picking it and saying Vow and Declare looks good in the 2019 Melbourne Cup, and seeing it win, I love this horse. I always have. Blake Shin on board, $23. I thought he went okay in the Caulfield Cup. He did it in 2019. It would be incredible to see him do it again. 6th in the Caulfield Cup. Now, that's what I want to look at, because he just needed to find a clear opening, and approaching the straight, he found himself trapped behind a few horses there. Longer distance in this one, so he should have enough time to get in the clear. But the real query for me is if this track is a heavy 8, because I think if it's a really heavy and wet track, I don't think Vow and Declare, maybe he can't keep up. Number 18, Luna Flare, Michael D on board. What a spring Michael D is having. $18 Luna Flare in the market. It's been picking up some good form lately. She's a wonderful horse, a wonderful mare. Won the Bart Cummings, and also in the Moonee Valley Cup, obviously Francesco Guardi won that and smashed him. But to see Luna Flare's efforts to get second and just to keep going, to keep fighting it out and to hit the line well, I think, she might be a bit of a dark horse in this race. Another dark horse who I think is at way long odds and should be shorter odds in the market. But I tell you what, if it wins and it's at long odds, I'm not complaining. 22, High Emotion, Tio Nugent on board, currently $46. I find that it kind of stays and follows Vow and Declare as a guide in races. It's run at Flemington on a soft 7, which was a 2,500 metre, was absolutely brilliant. He won by 2 lengths. I'm not happy that Harry Coffey didn't get the call up on High Emotion. Obviously, Harry Coffey's been with this horse for a lot of races. The ride goes to Tio Nugent, so let's see how Tio goes. And High Emotion, the wet doesn't seem to face him. If anything, he loves it that way. That's it for the Cup. So I know I've got 5 to narrow it down to, if it's that heavy track, probably my top 3 would be Knight's Order, Montefilia, High Emotion, My Heart, and is going with Luna Flare and Vow and Declare. So there's a mixture of horses. I know I've left out the internationals and the favourites, but I just think that our horses here in Melbourne, Australia, might just be too good. Race 9, Promise of Success, is a favourite at $6.50. I tell you what, if it stays at that price, pretty good value there. Kieran McAvoy on board. It's a 1,400 metre. This horse is looking for back-to-back wins, and let's hope she gets it. That's all, folks. There's my tips. Make sure to leave your Cup Day tips in the comments below if you want. And if you are taking a punt, good luck. But as always, gamble responsibly. Make sure you like, comment, and share this video out to your friends and family. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And for more content, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram.